039 Alpha. This is in the amount of 199,946,880 pesos. This is an ATS project, Mr. Chair. This will be presented by our TWG from ATS, and Secretariat, may we know if we have bidders online? Do we know if we have bidders online? If bidders, for records purposes, can you please register or type in your name at the chat box at the company you represent? Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yes, to our prospective bidders, sirs, ma'am, can you please introduce yourself and the company that you represent?
Yes, of course. Arie Herwijer and Esber. Good morning and thank you for the invitation. Arie Herwijer, and as was requested by CAAP to include the name of the company, so I am with Frequentis Comsoft. Thank you very much for organizing this session.
Thank you, sir. Any other prospective bidders online?
Yes, good morning. My name is Didi Pfaff. I'm joining like Mr. Arie Herwijer from the bidder Frequentis Comsoft.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Um,
Good morning. This is Ryan So, representing Indra. I'm here together with some representatives from our head office as well.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Um, for your questions, you can type it in the chat box or you can ask it after it is presented by our end users. Sir Joe?
Yes, thank you, attorney. Can I proceed now?
Yes, proceed.
Attorney? Yes, sir, I will proceed. Good morning once again, Mr. Chair, and to the members of the BAC, CWG, and Secretariat, and to our visitors and readers. Let me share my screen. Attorney Iris, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Welcome to the pre-bid conference of the Bids and Awards Committee of the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. The title of the project is Provision of ATM Contingency Fallback System at ATMC. I am presenting the Philippine bidding documents of the Government of the Republic of the Philippines with bid number 23-039-10 Alpha of the Bids and Awards Committee, 6th edition, July 2020. Preface: these Philippine bidding documents for the procurement of goods is being bid out through competitive bidding. We'll be discussing the salient points of the bidding documents. These are the acronyms. You can browse these later on. And other glossary. Section 1, invitation to bid. For the invitation to bid for the provision of ATM contingency fallback system at ATMC, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, through the CAAP corporate budget calendar year 2023, intends to apply the sum of 199,946,880 pesos for the project provision of ATM contingency fallback system at ATMC, being the ABC or the approved budget for the contract, to payments under the contract for each lot or item. Bids received in excess of the ABC or in excess of the budget for each lot shall be automatically rejected at bid opening. The delivery of the goods is required within 364 calendar days upon receipt of notice of award or notice to proceed. Bidders should have completed within 5 years at least trucks, the aggregate amount of which should be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-fail criterion. Bidding is open to all interested bidders, whether local or foreign, subject to the conditions for eligibility provided in the 2016 revised IRR or the implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act number 9184. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired in the amount of 56,000 pesos, inclusive of the VAT or the value-added tax. You may also download free of charge from the website of the PhilJEPS or the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the Bids and Awards Committee Secretariat through manual submission at the office address indicated below on or before 7 November 2023 at 9:30 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the instruction to bidders clause number 14. Bid opening date shall be on 07 November 2023 at 9:30 a.m. The CAAP reserves the right to any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with sections 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 revised RIR of RA number 9184, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, you may refer to Engineer Gary M. Hadi, the head Bids and Awards Secretariat. Our chairperson for the Bids and Awards Committee is Captain Edgardo G. Diaz. For the scope of bid, title is Provision of ATM Contingency Fallback System at ATMC. The funding information, the source of funding is the GOCC and the corporate operating budget. Bidding requirements, any amendments made to the IRR and other GPBB or the Government Procurement and Policy Board issuances shall be applicable only to the ongoing posting, advertisement, or instruction to bidders by the BAC through the issuance of a supplemental or bid bulletin. So mention here the generic content of the IRR. Number 4, And for the eligible bidders, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. Foreign ownership limited to those allowed under the rules may participate in this project. The bidder shall have a contract similar to the project, the value of which adjusted to current prices. Completed at least 2 similar contracts, the amount of which should be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC for this project. And the largest of these similar contracts must be equivalent to at least half of the percentage of the ABC as required above. The procuring entity has prescribed that subcontracting is allowed. The portions of project and the maximum percentage allowed to be subcontracted are indicated in the BDS, which shall not exceed 20% of the contracted goods. Prospective bidders may request for clarification on and/or interpretation of any part of the bidding documents. It must be done in writing, at least 10 calendar days before the deadline of the opening. If the eligibility requirements or statements, the bids, and all other documents for submission to the BAC are in foreign language other than English, it must be accompanied by a translation in English, which shall be authenticated by the appropriate Philippine Foreign Service establishment, post, or the equivalent office having jurisdiction over the foreign bidders' affairs in the Philippines. Similar to the required authentication above for contracting parties to the Apostille Convention, only the translated documents shall be authenticated through an apostille pursuant to GPPB Resolution Number 13-2019 dated 23 May 2019. The English translation shall govern for purposes of interpretation of the bid. Any bid exceeding the ABC or the approved budget for the contract shall not be accepted. Bid prices. Prices indicated on the price schedule shall be entered separately in the following manner. For goods offered from within the procuring entity's country, the price of the goods quoted EXW or the X works, the cost of all customs, duties, and sales, and other taxes already paid or payable, the cost of transportation, insurance, and other costs incidental to delivery of the goods to their final destination, and price of other incidental services. For goods offered from abroad, unless stated in BDS, the price of the goods shall be quoted delivered duty paid or DDP with the place of destination the Philippines as specified in the BDS. In quoting the price, the bidder shall be free to use transportation through carriers registered in any eligible country. Similarly, the bidder may obtain insurance services from any eligible source country. Bid and payment currencies. For goods that the bidders will supply from outside of the Philippines, the bid prices may be quoted in the local currency or tradable currency accepted by the BSP or the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas at the discretion of the bidder. However, for purposes of bid evaluation, bids denominated in foreign currencies shall be converted to Philippine currency based on the exchange rate as published in the BSP reference rate bulletin on the day of the bid opening. Payment of the contract price shall be made in Philippine pesos. These items will be discussed later in the BDS. Detailed evaluation and comparison of bids. The procuring entities BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids rated passed using non-discretionary pass-fail criteria. If the project allows partial bids, bidders may submit a proposal on any of the lots or items, and evaluation will be undertaken on a per lot or item basis, as the case may be. The NFCC or the net financial computing capacity must be sufficient for the total of the ABCs. The project shall be awarded as follows: one project having several items that shall be awarded as one contract. For the post-qualification, within a non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the Bids and Awards Committee that it submitted the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit its latest income and business tax returns filed and paid through the BIR or the Bureau of Internal Revenue Electronic Filing and Payment System or EFPS, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the BDS. Signing of the contract, the documents required in section 37.2 shall form part of the contract. For the bid data sheet or BDS. 5.3, for this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be, letter A, supply, delivery, installation, training, and commissioning of CNS ATM system or contract related to ATM backup system, completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Then reiteration, the procuring entity has prescribed that subcontracting is allowed the portions of project and the maximum percentage allowed to be subcontracted are indicated in the BDS, which shall not exceed 20% of the contracted goods. 10.1, all prospective bidders shall be required to submit the following. 1, a certification under oath attesting that they have no pending cases or cases against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirements for bidders as prescribed under the 2016 revised IRR. And number 2, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pendency of any cases of prospective bidders against the authority. The price of the goods shall be quoted DDP or delivered duty paid. 12.1, incidental services, permits and licenses, provision and installation of cables, auxiliary electrical adapter, connectors, cable management, importation licenses, permits, and training. The bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. The amount of not less than 2% or 3,998,937.60 if bid security is in cash, cashier's manager's check, bank draft or guarantee or revocable letter of credit. Letter B, the amount of not less than 5% of ABC or 9,997,344 pesos if bid security is in surety bond. BDS 15, each and every page thereof shall be initialed, signed by the duly authorized reps of the bidder. Submitted eligibility, technical, and financial documents shall be properly marked with index tabs or ear tab and must be sequenced in accurate order in the form, example, page 3 of 100. Pagination should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole document inside the envelope. Each bidder shall submit one original copy of the first and second components of its bid. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be automatically disqualified. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission to the address shown below, Back Office, CAAP, Old Mia Road, Pasay City, 1300, Philippines. Partial bid is not allowed. The goods are grouped in a single lot and the lot shall not be divided into sub-lots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. One lot only for the licenses and permits, electronics permit, electrical permit, proprietary licenses, OEM subscription for updates, patch, and the upgrade of firmware, including technical support. For the scope of contract, this contract shall include all such items. The terms of payments are indicated in the SCC, or the special conditions of contract. For the performance security, within 10 calendar days from receipt of the notice of award by the bidder from the procuring entity, but in no case later than the signing of the contract by both parties. Inspection and tests. The procuring entity or its representative shall have the right to inspect and or to test the goods to confirm their conformity to the project. Specifications at no extra cost to the procuring entity. For the warranty, in order to assure that manufacturing defects shall be corrected by the supplier, a warranty shall be required from the supplier. Upon receipt of such notice, the supplier shall repair or replace the defective goods or parts thereof without cost to the procuring entity. Liability of the supplier. The supplier's liability under this contract shall be as provided by the laws of the Republic of the Philippines. If the supplier is a joint venture, all partners to the joint venture shall be jointly and severally liable to the procuring entity. For the special condition of contract, we have here the delivery and documents. For purposes of this clause, the procuring entities reps of the project, Jomari Eligio of ATS Planning, Melba Acorantes of the Department of the Traffic and Planning Progression, and Ma'am Marlene Isingson, the ADG2 of ATS. The supplier is required to provide all of the following services: supervision of on-site assembly, maintenance of the supplied goods, repair of the supplied goods, training of the procuring entities personnel at the supplier's plant and or on-site. Spare parts. The supplier is required to provide all of the following materials, notifications, and information pertaining to spare parts manufactured or distributed by the supplier. For packaging, as is required to prevent their damage or deterioration. The outer packaging must be clearly marked on at least 4 sides as follows. We have here the procuring entity, our hope, Captain Manuel Antonio Altemayo, Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. In addition, the transportation to deliver the goods and transport of the goods to the port of destination. Intellectual property rights. The supplier shall indemnify the procuring entity against all third-party claims of infringement of patent, trademark, or industrial design rights arising from use of the goods or any part thereof. This is a turnkey project. Payment will be after issuance of project completion certification of CAAP. The inspections and tests that will be conducted are physical checking of the hardware, testing of the licensed software installed, and for the warranty for hardware and software are 3 years from the acceptance. So we have here the section 6 schedule of requirements for the hardware, and delivered weeks is delivered weeks or months or days, 364 calendar days. Let me read. Hardware, functionality for 15 or 15 controllers work position, radar data processor with server, flight data processor with server, ADS CPDLC processor with server, coupling and alerts processor, statistics, billing processor with server, remote interface processor with server, human machine interface workstation, keyboard video mouse or KVM switch, redundant high-speed network. System functionality shall have the capability to automatically capture copies of main ATM system surveillance and flight data records, interface with the AMHS or AFTN with similar address to main ATM system, interface with MET, interface with radar, interface with CETA, interface with AISS, AIDC version 2 or higher, archive storage for playback sync with VCS, with storage capacity to archive at least 1 month worth of data, flight plan tracks, logs, traces, recording, repository with storage capacity to archive at least 1 month worth of data system, data set similar to the main ATM system, data gen and map gen, software repository and or equivalent for software deployment, network provision, backup link, VPN support, HMI similar to main ATM system, hardware component, COTS, commercially off-the-shelf server, 2 pieces disk space or higher, 16 gig memory, 2 gig of GPU, high-speed NIC, DVD drive, USB ports, RAID controller, RAID1 configurations, COTS controller program, COTS controller platform, 2 pieces, 6 disk space, 16 gig memory or higher, GPU, high-speed gigabit LAN, DVD drive, USB, and controller. Network devices, L2 switches, L3 switches, firewall power with dedicated UPS rack mount type. For the software component, standard automation system as recommended by AAO, at least 64-bit base OS industrial release and or proprietary. Integration to the current system shall be on the account of the vendor. Radar head, surveillance network, PSR, MSSR. Number 2, communication network with CETA, CRV, CPDLC, AIDC. Aeronautical network, MET network. Documents, comprehensive detailed operations and maintenance manuals and procedures. Details of logs and errors shall be provided. For the trainings, site trainings for the ATSEP, the engineering, and the ATCO, the air traffic controllers on startup operation, maintenance, and or repair of the supplied goods. For the commissioning, factory acceptance test or FAT for 5 CAAP personnel and site acceptance test or SAP. Maintenance, contractor to supervise installation of the delivered goods. Technical support should be available 24/7 and accessed through various communication channels such as email, phone calls, SMS messenger, and chat. There should be a 24/7 alert notification system support and hotline for urgent issues. The contractor shall provide a proposed service level agreement or SLA that outlines the expected response time for addressing issues. Delivered goods shall be COTS available at least 5 years after acceptance, 3-year warranty support, software and maintenance support agreement for 3 years after the warranty period. So that's the technical specifications. And for the bidding documents, let me enumerate. Bid form, the price schedule for goods offered from abroad, for price schedule for goods offered from within the Philippines, and other bidding forms, Annex A, the Form 1, the joint resolution form, the acknowledgement, the bid securing declaration form, the schedule of requirements bidding form, the technical specifications form, the omnibus sworn statement form, the authority of signatory or the secretary certificate form, and here it's being enumerated for section 9, checklist of technical and financial documents. You can browse these later on. Specifically the legal documents, the technical documents, and the financial documents, the financial component envelope. The end users, including the FIC of the Area Control Center, Mr. Arias, the Assistant FIC, Mr. Estribo, the Division Chief of Approach, Mr. Mamwad, and the ANS FIC of ATMC, Mr. Gilmar, are ready to take your questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the members of the BAC.
All right, thank you. So any question?
Mr. Chair, Ari Herwijer, Frequentis Comsoft, good morning.
Go ahead, Mr. Ari.
Okay, good morning, sir. We thank you again for the bidding documents. And within the documents, you've made a very precise observation that a set of precise and clear specifications will be delivered for the bidders to make a realistic and competitive bid. Through our extensive experience with similar programs, we've learned that the details of specifically the integration items that are highlighted within your bidding document is very important. And they can be easy, but It's not often the case. They can also be complicated. And as we want to offer a quality system to CAAP, we will, and I'm just explaining, we will all put this in a letter. We will be requesting you kindly to deliver more details on the current interfacing that we can work with from the existing ATM system. So that was just a let's say a setting of scene, because the details of that interfacing will be very important for the bidders to allow us to make a proposal to you. Another question that was more a scene setting, which we will cover in the letter of clarification that we will send to CAAP this week. A question I had, where you have highlighted that the bidders can ask questions up to 10 days before the delivery of the proposals. Could you indicate when CAAP will respond to those questions? Because the response will allow us to progress in finalizing our bid. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, if I may
Go
respond to
ahead.
that. Sir, yes, you have 10 days before the submission of the bids to ask your questions. For the TWG or for the Bids and Awards Committee Alpha to respond to that, we will be issuing a bid bulletin in response to that. That would be 7 days before the intended opening of bids, sir.
Okay, so was that mentioned in the document? So you will issue a bid bulletin that will clarify the specific questions raised. Is that understood correct? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. That is included in the bid documents, and that is also the standard in the GPPB, sir, under RA 9184.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, any other question?
Yes,
Like to
this is
invite, go ahead, sorry.
no. Yeah, please, Mr. Ryan. So please go ahead. I will put my question after you.
Okay, thank you. We just wanted to clarify the payment terms indicated for this project. It mentioned earlier that it would be after the delivery of the goods. So does that mean that 100% of the payment will be made at the end of the project? There will be no milestone for, let's say, delivery of equipment or even an initial down payment?
End user?
Yes, sir. Let me. For the item 2.2, this is a turnkey project and payment will be after issuance of project completion certification of CAAP. And in our previous discussion with the other offices here in ATS and ANS, the payment will come after the issuance of project completion.
So there will be no milestones, there will be no milestone payment in between. It will be 100% upon completion of the project. For completion, we assume this only covers the actual implementation of the project. This does not include the timeline for warranty and maintenance, right?
Did answer your question for a while. We'll get back to you.
Dear board, are you ready to take another question?
Yes, sir. Mr. So, can we get back to you after the end user has their reply?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. What's your question?
Yeah, this is Didip Pfaff speaking for Frequentis Comsoft. The document that has been presented in this meeting with all these items marked in red, where can we get the latest copy of it, of this document? Will this be published on the procurement website?
Sir, I believe this project is published in the CAAP website and in the GPPB website.
Okay. Good. I just wanted to make sure that we work on the very latest version of the document, just to make sure that so I can get the copy, or we can get the copy from these official websites. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. This is the latest copy, sir. And also, should we have any changes in our bidding documents, we will be publishing it, or we will be issuing a bid bulletin for that.
Could you please repeat your last two sentences? You were a bit faint.
Should we have any changes in the bid documents, sir, we will be issuing a bid bulletin for that, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you, sir Drama, do we have a response to Mr. Saw's question?
Yes, thank you, Attorney Iris. After conferring with my colleagues here, we believe that the payment will come after the acceptance of the project. So after the supply, delivery, installation, training, and commissioning of the project, and the testing, and after producing the certificate of project completion, the payment processing that is standard in CAAP will be right away will be done. So in short, the payment will come after the submission of all necessary documents as per checklist of our accounting. In short, the certificate of completion of the project will come after the processing of the payment.
Okay, Mr. Ryan, does that answer your question?
Uh, yes, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other question?
Not
Okay.
for now from our side, I think, Mr. Chair, sorry. We will submit as per guidance of the bid document, questions on paper, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
To our prospective bidders, should you have any questions, please send your questions 10 days before the submission of bids for the TWG and the Secretariat to be able to respond to your inquiries. Thank you.
We will do so. Thank you.
Noted. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
Secretariat, we can excuse our prospective bidders. Thank you for attending, sir.
Thank you very much and have a good day.
It's our pleasure. Good day.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. So, any more, attorney?
For other matters, sir, we have one item here, sir. The motion for reconsideration of Seabury for the project supply delivery installation and commissioning of the safety oversight management system. They were disqualified last Thursday, sir, during the opening of bids. Uh, with the permission of the chair, if we may present that.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So, good morning, everyone. Um, Sir, we received a letter from Seabury Solutions, WIT, and um, the joint venture of Seabury MRO Solutions, BVH Tech Corporation, and BRIT Philippines, in relation to the Safety Oversight Management System project that was opened last Thursday. They were disqualified for due to submission of a affidavit of certificate of no pending case, which is not in accordance with our requirements, sir. If I may read the letter, Mr. Chair. Um, Dear Sir, good day. On October 10, 2023, our joint venture submitted a bid for the above project wherein our bid was disqualified due to the following grounds: that the submitted certificate of no pending case was individually submitted and was certified by the bidder's representative, is not in accordance with the required certification intended for the corporation. In view of the above, we hereby submit this instant request for reconsideration, that the requirement calls for the submission of the documents as an attachment to the omnibus sworn statement, which includes certification under oath attesting that they don't have no pending case against the government. The joint venture members and its representative submitted a certificate of no pending case certifying that it does not have any pending case against the government. Considering that the form is not provided in the bidding documents, the form used in this submission was extracted from the CAAP website with this link, and they provided the link, sir. I will show later what is inside the link that they were able to get, uh, and said that this form was previously issued by CAAP. May we request that the submitted certificate of no pending case be considered, since we also submitted a legal clearance from CAAP with respect to the non-pending case against CAAP. Thank you, and we look forward to your most favorable decision. And for your reference, sir, this is the search that they were able to make for the certificate of no pending case. And then this is the template that they were able to get from the CAAP website, sir. For your reference, sir, this template is part of the concession under our concession agreements form, sir. And this is not part of the bids and awards committee form, sir. We prepared a response letter. So this is addressed to Mr. Mark Gregory Agustin, the authorized representative of the joint venture. Dear Mr. Agustin, this is a response to the motion for reconsideration of the joint venture, requesting for reconsideration on its disqualification on the project supply delivery installation and commissioning of the safety oversight management system. For failure of the companies in the joint venture to submit an affidavit of no pending case against the government. In your letter, you mentioned that the form used for the submission was extracted from the CAAP website, as the bidding documents did not specify any required forms. Additionally, you requested the submitted certificate of no pending case to be taken into consideration. Um, in in this reply, sir, we stated that the motion lacks merit because under Section 30 of the IRR of 9184, it provides that the Bids and Awards Committee shall check the submitted document of each bidder, and bids that fail to include any requirement or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be declared as failed. In this case, the BAC's requirement is an affidavit or a sworn certification stating that the company has no pending case against the government, since we are talking about the companies here. However, the documents provided were affidavits taken from CAAP's concession forms and state that the representatives in their personal capacity have no pending cases against the government. This affidavit does not fully meet the BAC's requirement. In view of the foregoing, the Bids and Awards Committee adopts the findings and recommendation of the BAC TWG and the motion of for reconsideration of the joint venture of Seabury MRO Solutions, BVH Tech Corporation, and VRIT Philippines joint venture is hereby denied for lack of merit. So for the consideration of the committee, sir.
All right, any question or clarification? If there is none, any motion? Any motion?
So, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt the recommendation of the TWG to deny the motion of the bidder, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Any second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Okay, move and seconded. Motion is adopted. Thank you. Any other?
There are no other agenda in our meeting, Mr. Chair.
All right. So that's it. That completes today's meeting. So any motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much to everyone. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,